Hi, I'm Wendy Loie Sloan, and this is What's Up with Wendy. I began my career in New York City as a TV producer for talk show legends, and for the last decade, I've used these experiences to create my unique style in interviewing hundreds of A-list celebrities, newsmakers, comedians, musicians, reality stars, fitness and nutrition experts, best-selling authors, and more. Coming up is an episode featuring founder and CEO Gretchen Bauer of BSWANKY. Her bags, luxury, high-end handbags, handcrafted in the USA, and her motto, be the difference. Her luxury bags are also carried by many celebrities, including the fashion editor for Vanity Fair. Welcome to another episode of What's Up with Wendy's podcast. One of the things I love the most about my guest today is that she, after working as an interior designer for 26 years, launched a new business with a mission behind it. Be the difference. Improving the lives of women and changing the way goods are manufactured in America. She has the best story behind her, and she's such a lovely person, inside and out. Founder and CEO of BSWANKY. Welcome back, Gretchen Bauer.
Thank you for having me, Wendy.
You inspire me all the time. Every time I talk to you on and off the record, so many wonderful vibrations about you. I just don't even know what to say. Before we get into your amazing story, because everyone has to hear the story over and over again to inspire so many, I want to talk about the last 6 months during this pandemic and COVID. What changes did you have to make, etc.?
You know, it's interesting because when this all started, I am so blessed to be surrounded by incredible advisors. And when it started here in Florida, we didn't shut down immediately, but we knew it was coming. And so I met with an international advisor I have, and he said, Gretchen, when this shuts down, and it will, treat this as an opportunity to get ahead. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, push the envelope, come out with new products, come out with new designs, work hard, come in every day, and do what you're doing all the time, being the difference. So immediately, we had the opportunity to step up and make masks. I've got these seamstresses that love what they're doing, wanted to work. Of course, I had to furlough them because the demand of handbags slowed down immediately. So we started making masks. So not only did they start making masks, they wanted their masks to be beautiful. So these women met me in here in 24 hours with fabric they had purchased with their own money to go home and work for free sewing masks for the hospitals, for the healthcare workers, for nursing homes, for the sheriff's department, all for free.
Oh, wow.
So that was one piece, Wendy, but then we took it another step further. We took bags in our inventory and we started donating them to nonprofits. We said start auctioning them off. So one nonprofit alone in a week raised $8,500 with one of our handbags.
Oh, my God.
And then we turned it into, we'll give a percentage of sales. So we took our inventory on the shelves and we turned it into capital in the building, but also gave back a percentage when these organizations could not have fundraisers. And it was fun and exciting, and the community supported us. And we were busy every single day, and I was able to bring these women back sooner than most people were. Even if they probably couldn't, we were able to because we kept demand going.
That is amazing. That is truly amazing. You always give so much to everybody. So sales kept going during this time.
Sales kept going even though I didn't have payroll. So they were on their own working, and I covered all of the expenses for all the masks. I paid for everything, and they wouldn't take money. These women that work here said, nope, we are not taking money. We know this, you're donating. And that just showed that the spirit of giving goes throughout the culture of our organization. And these women knew that doing that would get our name out there and would bring them back to work sooner. So they all came back full time a couple months ago. We've been up and running for 3 months solid now.
That's amazing.
And so we've been very fortunate. We also designed a new product too during this time.
I'm sure you had, for a lot of the downtime, you were able to come up with new creations.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to keep up with inventory and material during the time? Was that a little rough?
It gave us challenges where we had to look at new suppliers, and so we ended up better. And we stayed in touch with all of our suppliers and kind of had to find a couple new ones, but most of them there was just delays, but we were able to handle that.
What advice would you give to people? This is still, even though we're kind of coming back slowly, it's still such an uncertain time. What would you tell people out there that have businesses, small businesses? What advice would you give?
I would say become the victor, don't become the victim during this. Realize there are opportunities and seize them and go after them. I call it casting nets. So for every 10 nets I cast, I'll get back 5 now. At the beginning, it was maybe 1 or 2. And so during this, every day I called upon people. And we've made some really great partnerships. We're launching at Harley Davidson now with a collection tomorrow. And we have looked at sales channels we never would have looked at. We've looked at customers and new sales techniques and marketing techniques and just always reaching out. But to not become discouraged, but think of a new way to do your business. And think of the future probably will always be different.
I was going to say the same thing. The future is going to look different for schools, for businesses, for homes, for everything. There's so many things about COVID to me that there was a silver lining in. I'm sure you feel the same way. I mean, I think there was changes that needed to be done. Somebody wanted us in a gigantic timeout. And we just have to one day at a time.
You're right. And it's interesting. As far as sales channels, it opened up some sales for us because a lot of the luxury retailers could not get products. Well, we're handcrafted right in the USA, right here in Sarasota. We can step up, and our turnaround time is about 2 weeks for an order. So these retailers in Florida especially, and up in the Northeast, turn to us and say, can you give us, can you supply us with luxury handbags right away? And we said, absolutely. And so we kept their shelves full, and they kept their sales channels going. And so we were able to help them at the same time where they couldn't get product. And now their customers love us.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so if you just tuned in, I'm talking to Gretchen Bauer, and she is the CEO and founder of BSWANKY, the most amazing handbags. We're going to talk I wanted for you to first share your story about how this all came about.
Oh my goodness. It was just over 3 years ago. I found myself doing interior design in Sarasota, Florida, and my house painter gave me a bag. And he brought it to my attention that his family in San Antonio had left a sweatshop and were manufacturing in their homes by the piece for a large handbag manufacturer, and they were being paid less than minimum wage because they were paid by the piece. And they were of Mexican descent, and just because of the language challenges and their socioeconomic situation, they were not able to make a decent living wage, and the products they were producing were still selling for top dollar. And I was not aware that in the U.S. garment industry, that people are so poorly paid and treated just here in the U.S. even. Amazing. And so I decided to partner with them. And so I flew out to San Antonio, built a building and a factory with these amazing women, and had the machinery, everything up and running, worked with them for over 6 months. And then the distance was challenging, so I left them with the building, the machinery. They drove here twice to train the women in Sarasota when we opened here just over 2 years ago.
I still can't believe it's just a couple years. I feel like it's been forever, like that you've always been here. So you were an interior designer for 26 years. Mm-hmm. And then it's just kind of like house painter. This just happened.
It just happened, and it came from volunteering is how I ended up meeting the house painter. And we went on to do 3 of the biggest homes in Sarasota. And as much as I love interior design, it just wasn't the same as it was up in the Northeast for me here. And just this gentleman sharing the story of his family and his mother coming from Monterrey, Mexico, one of 10 children, and helping raise those kids, and then starting this business in her home in San Antonio. And when he said, my mother always says, it's difficult but not impossible. And that's what she said the whole time we designed the handbag and started manufacturing. And that immigrant mentality of resilience and positive attitude and gratitude is what we have now in this building here. We have a seamstress base, all immigrant based. and they're dynamic, amazing, and grateful, and I'm grateful for them.
Oh my. And I love the story that you share that after you moved, you started to read the book, Start With Why.
Oh, that actually was the pivotal piece of me flying out to San Antonio. After he shared the story with me, I shared it with friends, but then I read the book, Start With Why, and I realized I had lost my why I designed. It was to elevate women and to really make their homes a reflection of them. And I just wasn't doing that here. It was more for money, and it wasn't as gratifying and rewarding. And so I realized that I have the chance to be the difference and make a difference out there, and I had to do it. That's my calling.
I get like all goosebumps hearing that, and I love that so much. And the name Be Swanky, and standing for Be the Difference, is such a powerful statement. And it's like it's the purpose behind the purpose, which is the purse is behind the. Oh, I'm like messing that whole thing up now. The purse behind the purpose. And then there's the actual purse. I mean, it's just, your story is phenomenal. Every single bit of it is just.
Oh, thank you.
I love that story so much, and I'm glad you got to share it with us again. So tell us about before we even go on to the most popular bags and bags that you want to highlight, Be Swanky and What's Up with Wendy are going to be running a contest to give away a beautiful handbag valued at $1,200. Why don't you tell us everybody about the handbag, and then we'll talk about the contest a little bit.
Okay, this handbag is the smaller version of our Sophie. It's called the Sophita, and it's our iconic shaped handbag. People have said this bag, it stops traffic. People receive more compliments carrying this bag than any accessory they've ever owned. So this one is a hair on cowhide. It's called the Sahara Sand, and it goes from handbag to backpack, because all of our bags transform like the women they're for. And it has this incredible equestrian nickel hardware. It's like fine jewelry. Mm. And it not only, is this bag that is beautiful, it functions. People cannot believe it. They can't live without it. And so some lucky listener out there is going to have the opportunity to carry this. And we have a special customer in New York that has this as well.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be posting the information on how to enter on Wednesday, tomorrow. We're gonna be posting it, and it's gonna run from the 16th through the 21st. So don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, What's Up with Wendy. Like us on Facebook so you can learn more information. You'll be seeing this all over the place. We can't wait to give away this beautiful handbag to one lucky winner. Okay, so tell us about the most popular handbags and how they have evolved since you first began. There's probably been a lot of changes.
It's interesting. We have continually increased and improved our quality. We bought many machines to take us up to that luxury level. We have learned that our customers are all about quality, details, being the best. So we have shifted everything over the past year and a half, where it's more about limited editions, exotic materials, things that no one else has. So our most popular are actually our Python products. And we sell these beautiful Python handbags that are sourced from the Everglades. Mm. So not only are you carrying a beautiful handbag, it's actually helping the environment.
I love that. So let's talk about some of the bags that you want to highlight, because I know you give back so much too.
Well, it's interesting. The Python handbag gives back to South Florida National Parks Trust. So they are providing education and grants to help restore the Everglades. And anyone that doesn't know about this, read about the pythons. And they are an invasive species, and they are eradicating all of the small mammal population in the Everglades. And if we don't do something about this, our beautiful Everglades will not exist anymore. Yeah. So that's with the Python piece. And we're so grateful. 100% of our keychains, our Python keychains, give back to South Florida National Parks Trust. Oh, the neat piece, though, Wendy, is we work directly with Amy Seaweed, and she is a decorated python hunter, and she's out there hunting, and then actually gets us the pythons directly. So it's a really neat partnership with her.